Welcome to the Kinjaz podcast. Here we will discuss dance, life, and whatever the we want.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of the Kinjaz podcast, Movement in the Shadows. I'm your host, Ben. And folks, we got very special guest, friend of the pod, one of the first guests on the podcast ever. We have dancer, choreographer, and creator of Movement Lifestyle. We have Shaun Evaristo back in the pod after 2 years. We actually, you know what's dope? I think this is officially 2-year anniversary. We started August 1st of 2018. And I think,
we should check the date on
shoot, what date? I know for sure we released our first episode August 1st, and you were like guest number 4 or something like that. So this might actually be like the 2-year anniversary. What's up, Shaun?
Hi. What's up, man?
How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I feel good. Just focusing on the basic things and taking it all day by day.
Yeah.
Well,
From
how
the
are you?
first, I'm doing all right. Probably the same as you. But, from the first time that we had you on the podcast, we were at the dojo still, when we still had the dojo. We unfortunately don't have the dojo anymore. It's in spirit now. We had to shut down our building, and, all to say that life has taken many turns since the last time we've spoken to you. And, we're in 2020 now, and obviously the world is very different. And did I lose you?
I think so. I think the AirPods kind of went out.
I hear you.
Thing.
Okay, there it is. But yeah, man, the first time we had you on, you gave us your origin story. And so if anybody is curious to know that part of Shaun's story, you can go back to that first episode. It's episode 4 or 5 or something like that. But, wanted to just check in with you. Just, you can walk us back as much as you want, or you can kind of just let us know where you're at now. But, the things are difficult. We're facing some challenging times. I know ML has gone through a lot of stuff as well. And, man, just wanted to just kind of open the doors with you to kind of, check in to see how you've been growing and what life is like, man.
Well, we're in a pandemic, man. It's crazy. And I think those are my dogs in the back.
We love the dogs.
But yeah, man. How do I put this? March. Let me take it back to March. We were in the Philippines, actually, my whole family, and I was able to make it out of the Philippines. We were actually on a different island for our family vacation, and they were going to close the borders to the island. Luckily, we had, we left 2 days before that happened, and then we got to Manila. We stayed in Manila for a little bit, and our flight, me and Aichan's flight, was already heading out. Me, my brother, and Aichan all were able to leave the Philippines, but my parents got stuck. So that was pretty crazy. They stayed, their flight was a little bit later, and because it was a few days later, they closed off borders right on that time. Dang. And so they ended up staying for, I don't know. They just got back like a month ago, pretty much.
Whoa, so they were stuck there for a couple of months after just that little gap. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And so honestly, just focused on family things. Fast forward to now that they're here, it's just a matter of, making sure that the family's all together, that we have all the basic things that we need. And, we go out, but really focusing on trying to stay safe. And, going out as far as like getting the things that we need for food, or I'm still doing a little bit of work here and there. working on myself always.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's like it in a nutshell of just from COVID-19
Yeah.
into what's been happening.
Yeah.
And I think that put a really big stress just in general. You know, your parents are stuck in somewhere else, and you're, you know, far away from them and can't really make sure that they're okay. You know, you can only FaceTime them. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that went through something similar, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. And you know, when I told you taking it day by day, like actually doing that, you know, waking up and just, what do I got to get done today? You know?
Yeah.
And
Well, speaking of the day by day, I mean, you know, I think when we first got into this, nobody knew the timetable of lockdown, quarantine. You know, when we first heard like, okay, there's a stay-at-home order, you know, we're like, is this a week long? Is this 2 weeks long? Is this a month? You know, and then we just kept on getting information. Oh, it got extended by another month, extended by another month. And so like, you know, taking it day by day is really the only option that we had, because there was no, we weren't getting any information that there was a definitive end date to any of this. And so with that, you know, obviously that stirs up a lot of uncertainty, but on top of uncertainty, you know, especially somebody like yourself, as a business owner, you know, to lead your business with ML, to even your own personal business for yourself as Shaun Evaristo, to like, you know, having to figure out in the moment, day by day, as things kind of unfolded. You know, I know ML had a, you guys put out, you guys did a global crowdfunding. To like help the studio out. Can you walk us through what that was and how that whole thing played out for you guys?
Yeah, so just to throw back to March, you know, obviously with the stress of my parents being there, we still had to make sure things were okay with ML. And, you know, it was, how do I put this into context? It was really like, well, what are we going to do? And really going to the drawing board on like, here are the options. There, you can apply for this, you can try to sign for any kind of grant, or there were like just different options out there, and not all of it was guaranteed. You know, it was just a hit or miss, and just give it a shot. And you know what? With that first round of PPP, we just missed it, man. Just it was we totally got in, but they went right over us. And so then, you know, all the bigger businesses got it, and then so we're kind of stuck with, well, dang, what are we going to do? It takes a lot to run a dance studio, especially in Los Angeles, where a lot of our student base isn't reoccurring. It's a lot of students that come from different parts of the world, decide to live and work in the industry, and then those are the people that are taking classes. So we don't really have a wide variety of student kids that are constantly taking on a regular basis. Is more so like young adults to our age, and some older actually. So yeah, and that's a lot of our demographic. So essentially it just came down to, we don't know if we can weather the storm, you know. And it was just a Hail Mary pass, you know. It's like I talked to the team, and you know, of course I was already unsure, because I don't want to ask our community. I didn't want to ask our community for that, you know. Everybody's in a tough situation already. So, but the team had said, you know what, let's give it a shot. Let's try. And so we had come up with a 24-hour move-a-thon, and we just asked a lot of our friends from different parts of the world. I still don't know how we pulled that off, but we did, and it was a tough fight just to stay up for that long, and but it was well worth it, as the whole community. I mean, it felt like the whole community, really, at least for me, it did, because I was not expecting that to happen, and just so thankful in that time, just like really feeling like people care, and that was very emotional, overall.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to go past our goal, and that basically could keep us afloat for the next few months to come. And that was, I forgot when we did that, but that was earlier in the year. And obviously that can keep us afloat, but it is now few months past, so that's held us on as tight as we could. And we thought that we were okay. Now we're going to go back into business and try to revive this thing from what we got. But COVID-19 is still here, and in the middle of another shutdown, about to take place in different ways. And well, I mean, obviously gyms still can't be open. Luckily, we have a parking lot, which we just opened up, and our parking lot can hold, you can do outside activities at the current moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we are able to do that. We put like lines, and
Cool.
we're holding classes just starting this week.
Dope.
So that's like a light that we have. But in all honesty, it's still so uncertain, because of the community, we were able to last, so long. But with the extension of closure, now it's back up in the air, kind of like we are back in the beginning, instead of, keeping afloat. And, of course, there's people's lives that we have to make sure that are safe. So we're taking every precaution that we can, and making sure that everybody that does go feels safe. And I don't know. I have no answers for what's going to happen next. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I'm unsure as much as I was at the beginning for ML, as with COVID-19 happening a couple months ago, and then back at the feeling back at the same spot, but now months down the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's a sucky situation, man. And all we can do is just continue to ride it out and see the playing field, what options there are. I think there are a few minority-owned dance studio businesses, and we happen to be one of them, and we're proud to be one of them, but are in the midst of potential closure again.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has taken another toll on the heart, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's just being honest,
Totally.
With the complete uncertainty on when things can kick back up and when there's a vaccine. And I'm not trying to like bring it all down, but man, it's real.
It is real. It is real. And yeah, man, I want to, touch on so many of the things that you said. I mean, well, going back to the 24-hour move-a-thon that you guys did, you're right, man. I saw, even from, kind of like the outside looking in, I saw the community rallying together, showing their support from, the teachers that you had, donating their time,
So beautiful.
all around the world, and even from the crowdfunding page, and just seeing people putting their money towards, because I mean, to me, what it said to me was, everybody everybody had or has a piece of ML in them.
Yeah.
As a dancer in this community, whether you live out here in LA or whether you live in a different country, if you've set foot, or if you've seeing the ML logo on, I seen that logo on shirts and sweaters from kids all around the globe, man. And so that told me that, ML has reached the entire globe, and the entire globe showed up to essentially send some love back. And that was really cool to witness, bro. And for me to be able to just kind of share in that, and participate in it in in the small way that I could, was like, yo, this is why we do this thing. Not to get super like sentimental with it, but when we talk about this dance community, we can go back to the roots of the whole thing of like how it really is a homegrown operation, and then we've grown it into become a sector of what we call this dance industry now, right? There's like, before you would separate community, industry, and there was no bridge, but like there's absolutely a bridge. It's because to be honest, it's guys like you that has put in the work to cross over, and not to cross over to leave one thing and to go to another. It's to like bring this over to this side, and now the lines are so blurred, but I think beautifully blurred, because it provides the home aspect that we've always loved about this community, and then it provides a livelihood. It provides a way for people to be able to feed themselves, put food on the table and roofs over their heads and stuff. And
I mean, sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to touch back. I really learned that from people that are mentors within the community, Anna Sorrell and Arnell, just, and what I mean by the community, the West Coast collegiate kind of, dance crew and team circuit. And yeah, I really, it's people like them that really showed me what community is, and building a bridge between the things, the things that they've taught or created, and just how they are, just showed proof of what it's about, and truly, again, like I said, building that bridge for people to communicate. So, I mean, that's where I learned to do that, and that's where I gain inspiration to say, yeah, like I want to do that for our generation. I want to be a link in the long chain, and what is my link that I'm going to help provide in this long chain.
And well, even to that, I can say, even as your friend and as your brother, you are that. And that, when I can sit and witness something, that's a historic thing. First of all, the pandemic itself is historic already, and then for so many industries and small businesses to feel the weight of this pandemic, to the point where, our businesses and our livelihoods are at stake, and at risk of being shut down. And, to see, ML put itself out there, and to see everybody rushing, like literally rushing to be like, we're here, like, like this is not shutting down. And, I think there's obviously something so beautiful to that. And I think, as we even talk about now, facing like another version of a lockdown, and it can get, discouraging all over again. It's like, dang, man, I thought we were like out of the woods, and then here we are kind of feeling like we never left, and
right. I think I've only told like 2 people this, but sometimes, I think of ML as a person. So some days it's been hard to go to the studio to like talk to them, because it feels like life is so uncertain, and I don't have any new news to tell ML. Everything is still up in the air, and I have nothing certain to say, ML, I got you.
Yeah.
And so I hesitate sometimes to like be inside of the studio, because it just feels like, I don't know, because I want to come back knowing that I have an answer for you, you know. I want to come back with more progress or a plan to fix or change, but this is all out of my control. So it's one of those things where it really feels like I don't know what to do, and I don't think it's right for me to talk to you until the time is to tell you what's going to happen next.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, dude, I hear you, man. And you know, I don't even want to begin to be like, oh yeah, man, it's gonna be okay. You know, like that's
Right.
that's what everybody says. I mean, well, let's be real. In the long run, in the big picture, of course everything's gonna be okay. But um, I know that we are looking at the immediate because you said ML is a person. ML isn't this building. It's not this just a business. It's not just this
Mhm.
idea. It's something that you've birthed, to loved, to shared, to people have attached themselves to it. So it's bigger than even what you've personally created. It's this living organism. And,
Yeah,
you know,
it's a
when
garden,
something,
man.
yeah, when something's living, it requires immediate attention. It requires immediate love. And like, you know, you're not going to tell your child like, sorry, I can't feed you, but I'm sure I will be able to someday. You know, it's like, no, I
Yeah,
need to figure out a way to feed you right now. You know, like you need to
yeah.
eat. And I hear that.
So I'm doing what I can to
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
what I can to bring something back.
absolutely.
Um, yeah, and so it's just one of those things, man. And though it's hard, you know, I've said this before, you know, gotta go down swinging. You know, I'm not gonna go down without taking a shot. You know, so
Absolutely.
um, yeah, and I think I get this from my dad. He's a very hopeful person, and I don't know. I like that, you know, to try to not lose hope.
Absolutely.
I think I really, of course, not being blind to all the things that are happening, but still trying not to lose hope. And that's kind of where I'm at. And in most cases, I might say, you know, like, you know, just do it, you know. But I feel like things have gotten so tough that I feels like I'm trying, you know. I'm scraping to find that little bit of hope in there. And yeah, I find it every day with the little things, you know. And
Yeah. Yeah.
the little things matter so much. You know, they're so big. And what I mean by that is, and I'm sure people have said it in this podcast many times, but you know, just having food to eat and
Hmm.
water and shelter and people you love, all the basic necessities. It's like in a time like this, um, we are very fortunate to have those things, and so I do not take that lightly,
Yeah.
and I focus on the small, big things.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how you phrase it. Small, big things. They're the things that we label as basic, as like, oh yeah, it's just food, it's just shelter, like this is just all normal basic stuff. But these are huge. Like without those things you would die. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like they're basic in that those are our fundamental needs. And then if you have all of your fundamental needs covered, it's like, yo dude, you're blessed beyond, you know, way more than a lot of people in this world. So I think that's a really healthy perspective. In regards to things like health, right? You know, so yeah, it's a lot of weight to carry, a lot of you know, decisions that need to be made in the moment that can be stressful and weighing on you. And um, you know, I think this is a very, you know, I don't want to take away from, you know, yeah, sure, there's people that are like, you know, out of work and all that other stuff, but there's a whole other side of health, from physical health to mental health, emotional health. And I know you think very much about those things.
Yeah.
for yourself during a time like this? Because I know you're always kind of on your regimen in terms of staying healthy, like holistically all the way around. Has anything, like, have you changed any rhythms during this time? Have you added, have you deleted? Like, what are your
Right.
healthy rhythms now?
Well, I think as soon as the pandemic hit and I got back home, it was survival mode. And I mean, anybody that knows me or follows my work knows I'm a sensitive guy. So
Hmm.
I just let the sensitivity sort of kick in and took the time that I need. I didn't really react to do much of anything.
Mhm.
And I really took the first month to just sit in my my grief, my sorrow, my sadness, my reflection, all of that. I took the first month and change to really just boom, feel how you feel. Let that happen. And I think I learned that through dance, to be honest, you know, instead of like letting moments pass, just sort of taking them as they come and absorbing that and then translating that later when it's time, when I feel it's time. Right. And so, yeah, I like, you know, just didn't even focus on health. I really was focused on sitting on the couch and focused on my next meal. And obviously, you know, staying just like that for too long, I think, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was good for me. I needed some variety after doing that for a long time. So I was like, I'll start now. So then I started the basics, you know, just I'll go for a run today. And then I'd let a couple days pass and maybe I'm not feeling it. And then I'll try it again. Then I would try to do that and maybe I'll work out. So I would test the waters until sort of like getting your confidence back up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And even in that time, as I was gaining confidence back up to keep going, you know, you would just get kicked down again because 2020 has just been like that.
Non-stop. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'd go back into a slump and just, okay, let's accept this. Let's learn. Let's understand, or also let's just lay in bed and feel how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would go back again, try it again, get up, work out, take a run. Don't like it, you know. It sounds like really like um sad, but I think actually it was like testing my willpower, you know.
Mm-hmm.
How are you willing to fight today, you know? And okay, maybe not today. And I have the privilege to not fight today. Maybe I have the
Right.
privilege to like lay in bed and be in my feelings, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I recognize that. And so for now, it's like, or as of now, it's really, I've been able to use that momentum of willpower step by step. And yeah, I've just truly felt this burst of energy that was like, okay, you've understood, you've talked to yourself, you've asked questions, and you've also just, yeah, took the time that you needed. Let's move. And that's what happened. Was there was just this internal switch where I decided.
Mm-hmm.
That was a change. Is when I decided it was time. And yeah, I've been doing I mean, you do like what, 5 miles a day?
I do like a 5K a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Um, yeah, that, I mean, there it is, bro. Like you decide, you know, I'm doing this. And I think that's exactly what it is I decided I'm going to do this. So as of my current schedule, I'm doing morning wake ups. So I'll wake up at 6:30. I give myself leeway. And then, yeah, I'm working out by 6:30 or 7. And I'll go on a run and then, you know, not too long, maybe like 20, 30 minutes, and then jump into my workout, which I have these weights at home, and also learning different techniques from Miguel, who's he's part of he's friends with like all the
offset med guys.
Offset med,
Yeah.
And also works with Carl,
Yep.
who I believe works with you guys.
Yeah, Movement Society.
Yes, sir. So just learning what I can, little things. So shout out to Miguel for helping me out and learning. I call him an earthbender. I feel more like a waterbender. And as he's teaching me all these different things with the kettlebells, I'm like, yo, we're earthbending right now.
It's good.
So yeah, man. So now I'm doing it 3 times a week. I do 2-a-days, and my 2-a-days is workout in the morning at like 6:30 a.m. and then session at 5.
Dope.
So my sessions have just been. Do you know? Well, I don't know if you know, but in Japan, in Shinjuku, there is a building that, like around, I don't know, when evening hits, all the business people get out of the building, and then you know, a lot of these dancers kind of come around the building, and then they use the floor area, which has like, you know, glass. It just reflects your, you know, you can use it as a mirror.
Yeah.
So there's tons of dancers and dance crews around the building.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 18, that was my first trip to overseas, and I was so inspired by that, and I would practice there when I was staying there, and it still exists, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, on one of my runs, I caught this place down here where I live. It was just an open kind of abandoned spot like that, so I started running, and then I started sessioning there, and then now I'm just sessioning a lot.
Yeah, you've been going in.
Yeah, man, it just really feels good to get back to dance in a way that just feels like practice, man.
Yeah.
It's really been my, just good for my mental health. I love choreographing, obviously. I love freestyling, but, you know, I feel that I needed to step back into just going back into myself, asking questions within my movement, learning what's what, and see where my body's at. And so practice has been so fun. Practice has just been exactly that, practice.
Yeah.
And I know I have built up skills over time, but there's always so many things to question and change, learn, evolve, grow. And it's it's been so fun, man. And I think I've been more on the freestyle tip lately, and then just getting into different forms and styles for fun.
Yeah.
But I know it all translates, and I'll eventually use it for choreography, and then it'll go back into freestyle, and then it'll go. It's a full circle. It always happens that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
You know, I think, I wanted to just let you kind of just take us, take us right now. What I see in you is, even going back to when everything started, and then it was just, you felt the weight of the world, and then I don't feel like doing anything. I feel like it's kind of being here in my feelings, or like, all right, maybe I should go run. All right, tomorrow, all right, I'm not really feeling it. But then, you know, so it's like what I'm seeing in you, and I've always known this about you, but even just as you're explaining right now, you're very intuitive. You're very aware of yourself. You're aware of how you receive things, and like, and then you also know yourself so well that you know your process. You know that, like, hey, it's okay. I'm gonna just feel deep right now, and even cry, sit on my couch, just eat some snacks, whatever it is. Like, you know that you can let yourself do that, because you also know that you're not going to do that forever. You need to let that time kind of just let it happen, so that when you find your other spike of like, okay, it's time to get up, it's time to go work out, time to go run, dance, whatever it is. And then it's like you let yourself be human. You know what I mean? Like human beings cannot function 100% of the time. You know, we have to rest. And I think you know that very well about yourself. And then like, you know, hearing you build your processes back in, because as you're talking to me now, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm like working out, doing these 2-a-days to, you know, like getting back into freestyle. And then I know that choreography will come, but like, I've always known that about you. I known that like, oh yeah, that's how Shaun gets down. But like you letting yourself be vulnerable and human and then sharing that is not easy. You know, people want to share, yo man, I'm grinding, I'm getting up every day at 5 a.m. and I do this, I'm like clockwork and I just don't stop. That's the stuff that people like to campaign for themselves, right? They don't like to say, yo, I'm in my feelings right now, I'm discouraged. Yeah, some days I don't feel like blah blah blah. Like majority of people can identify with that, you know. I'm pointing it out because I find that to be inspiring, because I know the other side of that coin. The other side of the coin is like when you decide, like you said, when you make the decision to get up, all right, this is just what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna do my 2-a-days, I'm gonna drink this much water, I'm gonna run, whatever it is. You know, that's your decision that, you know, you can, once you flip that switch, you can get there. So then it's really good to see the like other, the yin to the yang or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
So there's the other thing where you're like, you know what, I'm not always there. You know, there's a lot of times where I really am just kind of like, I'm not feeling it. And it's okay to let yourself like take a day to rest or take a day to whatever, man, cry, whatever you need to do. And then it almost fuels that other side to like kick into high gear when it's time to kick into high gear, because you've let yourself go, you know, just chill out mode to be like, all right, like I've chilled, like it's time to get up and do the things that I know are going to be healthy to get myself out of that, you know, one extreme to another. And I've always seen you live in that balanced kind of middle area.
Ebb and flow, man.
Ebb and flow, man. That is life. And I think, you know, 2020 pandemic, COVID-19 is the biggest challenge to maintain that ebb and flow, you know, because we can be so extreme in like, you know, yeah, there's the one extreme of depression and that side of a low, to the other extreme, which I think is maybe equally as unhealthy, is thinking that you need to like be nonstop, like you need to be a killer. I mean,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Because though that sounds all like praiseworthy and sexy and stuff, but like, yo, then you're gonna burn yourself out. And there's also factors that you can't control. Like just like you said, like we don't know. Like I wish I could tell you what we're gonna do, but I don't know. We don't have answers. So like we are going to do what we know we have, which is oftentimes like boils down to the basics, like you said, like, you know, teaching, conducting classes out of the parking lot. Cool. We have that. That's what we know. We'll do what we can. And, you know, the bigger thing, which I know that you would agree with, is even if all the businesses fly away and, you know, everything shuts down, no one can take away dance from you. No one can take away what you do for yourself, for your own mental health, to your own physical health, and your family and your friends and what you invest into there. Like no one could take that away. COVID-19 can't touch that, you know? So I think what, you know, even the message that you're sharing to me right now is, of course, your, you know, ML is a person to you. Dance is something that is deeply, you know, spiritual to, it heals you in so many ways, you know, and, but like, you are also very aware of like, I only have control over so much, at a time too, you know, and then once we get more information, cool, now I have control over other factors. Now let me kind of work that stuff in. I think it's a really healthy, balanced way to look at things. And I'm so glad you're willing to share this, because I don't know how many people, you know, people who admire your work. I'm sure there's a ton of people that may or may not know like, yo, this is how you operate. You know what I mean? And this is how you're currently doing. And I'm pretty sure not everybody out there is killing it right now. You know what I mean? Everyone's just like, I'm trying to figure this out. So it's cool to hear you go there, you know?
I mean, first, I really learned this through dance, man. The how to, uh, when it's time to jump in, when it's time to pull back, when it's time to be dynamic or to slow things down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dance taught me that truly, like how to, inside of creating choreography, especially, right? Like choosing or feeling when the timing is right. Sometimes I don't feel like choreographing. So, all right, I'm gonna let this kick back and I'm listening to my honest self, and it's like, okay, I think I got something. Let me go back to that. And at least that's where I felt it from, inside of in choreographing and curating, or I mean, even in my freestyle too, I'll feel the same thing, But really, when I apply that to my life, it just it helps me flow better, and go with the current of what is happening in the world, right? Because then now I'm like, similar to any kind of thing I might create, I am watching it from a distance and then feeling out when the time is to do or to not. And yeah, I think just kind of putting that into play, as you're saying.
Yeah. How do you feel in particular, like in this moment, how do you feel you're growing right now? In what areas are you growing in?
I'm growing in so many areas, man. Who isn't growing?
Yeah. What are some
Who
like
isn't?
obvious things for you though? Or like maybe that you're like consciously trying to grow in?
I think in the same areas that you might be. I got a gut feeling, One is family and self, right? Another is family, and making sure that, everything is all right, outside of that, I'm focusing on my dance, right? That brings me joy, and it keeps me fulfilled. So I'm doing that. Other things I'm focusing on to better outside of that are things that that I've never really dove into growing up in the States, And one of them in particular is just learning about all the racial injustices that we're seeing right now. And of course, I've experienced my own, but after all the protests, I really needed to dive in and do my own work. And there was just so much I've been blind to, and so much I didn't recognize. And there's so much work for me to do now, and kind of pull this veil, if you will. And just even studying my own culture too, all the different things, it's really made me pull back and learn about myself, and how I can help, and what is also the best ways for me to help, what works inside of my life in format of how I operate as a person, And so it's really, for me, it's been integrating the type of change that I want to see. So right now, I'm just educating myself and reading books that I've picked up. And I don't know if you can see here, but these are different sticky notes of things I would like to learn or read up on. I've just started reading up on qualified immunity and how that is affecting our community. and yeah, I'm still learning about that right now. And I'm also learning, what else? I'm currently reading The Fire Next Time, which was suggested to me by a cousin of mine. And yeah, step by step, I can only do, I'm best doing one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And uh, pulling the things that I've learned, and as many people are doing, unlearning. So that's part of what I'm doing. What else? Yeah, I think also I am focusing on what brings me joy and fulfillment, and that is sharing my craft and my dance. So segue into starting my program.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is this program that you're working on?
Well, yeah, I think I told you this last time. I feel like coming on the Kinjaz podcast is like going to the Breakfast Club, or like. So I'm dropping my new album. And,
Yeah.
You know, that's what it feels like right now. So I
Hey,
wish you had like
I
one of
take that
those.
as a huge compliment, man. I'm like sway in the morning over here.
Ben in the morning, Ben in the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
What's up? This is Ben in the afternoon.
Yo, let's get it. Let's
That's
get
tight. So yeah, let me share what I'm doing. Self-Explore is a program that I'm doing within dance. It's something that I have wanted to do for a while. The concept itself has, the name itself sort of been around for a little bit for me, but pulling that name and putting into this program was just a perfect fit for what I like to do within dance, and also how I view life, movement and life, and also how within teaching, I just think it's important to explore. For as a teacher, I think it is important for any student to explore yourself. And I am a constant work in progress, learning about all the things that we have been learning within 2020. I am still a work in progress now. And it's actually really cool because some of the program itself I've been doing because I've been inspired by the students digging into themselves. It re-inspired me to even take my program. And so that's kind of what I've been doing, is taking my own program. And I think it's more so like a format of different things you learn along the way, questions you answer, and I think the program itself sort of pulls strings that sort of unravel on the spools that they're on. And yes, it's dance, but I think it's just life related in general. So I intermix and weave all of it for a 4-week program. And I just kicked it off on Monday. So I've already done the program, the first variation of it, but the second program is about to happen in September.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, that's Self-Explore. It's about journeying within and finding the keys that unlock the doors to yourself. And that's sort of like the theme and the feeling of it. Because I'm constantly doing that, and I'm currently doing that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. So the program's called Self-Explore.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Where can people find it? Is there a website or?
Yeah, I mean, the link tree is in my bio.
Okay, cool.
On Instagram.
We'll link all that in the notes and description.
Yeah, thank you. There's also videos that are that are on my Instagram, but in particular, like, it's not a program that's for everybody. Like, I know that there's people that have already done their own work and have found their own path, or maybe they're different programs or teachers to learn under at the moment. I think mine is in particular a very small setting, and for those that really feel that this might help and benefit their life. So yeah, I think those that are in question of where they're at, this might really help navigate or guide people down those different hallways within themselves.
That's super dope, man. Yeah, you know, it's cool because I think as I'm hearing you talk about putting a program like this together, it seems like it's a product of, you know, your environment. And what I mean by that, meaning like everything that's been happening, you know, 2020 pandemic, all these things. And then you get into your own self-reflective mode of like, man, like I need to figure out how I'm dealing with all of this. And then you start putting together this, you know, program for yourself first. I mean, essentially, I'm sure it wasn't like, yo, I need to develop this program for people. You're like, how am I processing through all these things? How am I dealing? What am I finding? Dang, I would love to share this. You know what I mean? And then here comes this like, maybe I should package this thing and invite people into this experience. And like, you know, it's, you know, had this time not been what it is, maybe you wouldn't be in this space, right? And you wouldn't have
absolutely that, absolutely. You know? Because of COVID-19, it gave me the space to sit down and say, okay, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, I'm going to use this time in a way that feels honest to me, and there's something that has been brewing and that I've been wanting to work on. So let's try to take this time and use it, not to be productive for the sake of being productive, but because there's something deep inside of my spirit that wants to like make this program, that's wanting to focus my creative energy. Yeah. And so I'm so excited about it, man. I feel like I'm talking very quiet about it, but inside I'm like freaking hyped, dude. Yeah. Because like, you know, in no time in my career or my dance life have I been able to teach at this capacity. Everything that I have done thus far has been in small pockets. You know, travel here, give a little of self and get some back, you know. But in this case, no, this is everything out on the table, man. And I'm hoping I'm not leaving any, so what is that? Leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
And everything across the board, from directing a team to working with artists to working on creative direction to you know, backup dancing for a major artist, creating choreography, learning freestyle, and its approach inside of with improvisation. I really don't tell people what to do. I just give different sort of scenarios or options to play with, and then we tinker around with it. So
that's dope, man.
And sorry, I'm going on about it, but man, I'm really excited. And
I love it. It seems like this is anyone's ever wondered the mind of Shaun Evaristo. This is like, welcome in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I wouldn't have gotten this without movement lifestyle. You know, ML for me is the basis, is the foundation that Self-Explore is built on. You know, I came to the understanding of Self-Explore because I understand that movement is life.
Right. It's dope, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man. So you said it dropped this past Monday?
Yeah, and there's only a few slots that are in as far as this first official run goes. I have no clue how the world is going to take to it. I also have no clue on, you know, where it's at in the world, but the whole goal is to sort of reach to the outside demographic of people that follow my work. Obviously, like here in LA, it's a little bit different. You know, there's lots of different programs to reach, and I've also never done anything online except for like Zoom class, which actually it's through Zoom and how I'm kind of using it. But yeah, Here, I'll show you a little thing. This is
Heck yeah.
this is my program outline. This is the syllabus.
Dang, this is a full-on course.
It's a full-on course, and there's, everything, dude, just written out here. And it's really awesome. I feel like a professor, man. I even use Google Classroom to talk with all the students.
Sick.
And we're able to go back and forth and have dialogue. And it's been so fun, man. At least with the first
that's so
group of
dope.
students that I've had. I don't even say students, man. I call them seekers, because we're finding things within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't like saying that I'm a teacher in this. I really like saying I'm a guide. But that's just because I also get insecure and also like, I don't know, weird about calling myself a teacher in this. I really just feel like I'm helping navigate.
Yeah,
I feel like a navigator.
there it is. I think this is cool, man. I think knowing you and if you were to develop a program, it would be like nothing else that's out there. This is not a here's how to improve your your dance skills per se. It's I mean, sure, there's dance and movement that's all intertwined within, but it's more of an understanding of oneself and finding it for yourself, and what movement what movement comes out of you because of what's in you, right? Versus like mimicking something that is like taught, so for you to like regurgitate. So I think that's,
I mean, that some of that is in there. I play around with a little bit of that, but I said this in a video I recently posted, was I don't want people to build my house. I want people to build their own house.
sure.
And I want to provide people with their own tools, not for now or for 4 weeks, but for a lifetime. And that's really it, and just using every bit of information that I have over our life of a span of dancing, man. I moved to LA and moved with you. We're roommates, right?
Yeah,
And then from that point on, being in community and industry throughout my time here thus far. I mean, I've been dancing prior to moving to LA, but I use all of that experience from dancing even as a kid, at like 10 years old, and all those things that sort of came into play up until now, that kind of been able to experience a wide array of different things within dance.
Yeah, dude, that's dope. Super dope. I'm stoked for it, man. I'm stoked for it. And thanks for sharing it here. I mean, I'm excited for people to get the background and then dive in. You heard it here first on the Kinjaz podcast. Breakfast Club. No, okay, not the Breakfast Club. We're the lunch club. Yo, man. I have
KLUB.
The lunch club with the K. Change the name of the podcast to that, maybe.
Right.
Dude, I have so many more questions, but without taking up too much of your time, something that I wanted to get into, or before we get into a fun little lightning round, but I think this is obviously a hard time. I think that's like, if you were to think 2020 pandemic is, it's been a tough time. Like, okay, duh. But I think I can ask you this, and I think you have thoughts on it. How is this time an awesome time though? How is this time a time that you love? And like, what is amazing about this time for you?
What is amazing about this time for me? So I like to say this, and this is one of the things that I express inside of the program, but I learned this from a friend of mine. Her name is Emily Katz. She is a macrame artist, and as I was taking her class doing macrame, she said that the space is just as important as the work. And you know, in our line of industry or work, that's what we do. We put in the time. So I was making a lot of knots, but I wasn't providing as much space. And, you know, if you have a lot of knots inside of a macrame piece, it's just going to look like this.
Right.
But, you know, if you space out that, then you have this beautiful design that sort of happens. And in any design format, you know, you look at graphic design, the space is just as important as the work. In choreography, dance, and freestyle, like the space is as important as the work, man. And so I've been able to use the space that we have by giving myself space. You know, it's like allowing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Shaun, okay, I know you want to do something right now. Maybe what you can do is to allow yourself the space and time that you need. Cool. So, yeah, that's like one of the big takeaways. I think a lot of people have felt that too. But now, for example, my week goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my 2-a-days. That's working out in the morning and then dancing in the evening. My Tuesday, Thursday is the times that I do the other work. So I work on the program. I also work on reading information and figuring out what places I can join with or help be impactful to the world. Yeah, I kind of keep the work in different spots. So I am working constantly, but I am working in a more balanced format now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I changed my workspaces. So I've been working a lot at the park. So yeah, I want to be close to nature at times. And so I dedicate it at least once or twice in the week. And then I use the weekends to dedicate for our family. So yeah, and my cutoff time is like 8:00, you know? So if I'm working on something, you know, like, nah, dude, you got to go eat. You got to be with your family. You got to watch anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I leave the work time outside of those, you know, in the work time blocks.
Sure. Yeah.
So it feels regimented, and it is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of free flow and ability to work inside of that structure. It's, again, I think similar to how I choreograph. It's like still leaving 80% for life, and then curating, you know, like, it's like curating 80% and then leaving the rest up to, I don't know.
Yeah. It's good, man. Good words. We like to end our episodes with a lightning round. So if I can have some fun with you, I'm going to throw some lightning questions at you. And
I feel like you need sound effects, man.
We do. So in this, when I say lightning round, my audio guy Jeremy goes. And
yeah.
So it's going to be in there. It's going to even be funnier because we talked about it. So it's going to be even funnier. All right.
Lightning round.
Yeah. Hit him again, Jeremy. There it is.
One more time.
Have fun with this one, Jeremy. All right, here we go. Lightning.
One more time. I'm sorry.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's your favorite quarantine snack?
Favorite quarantine snack? Okay. I will choose between. Sorry, I have to. This is supposed to be a lightning round. Damn it. Okay, I'll say Trader Joe's. They have these chips that are just tortilla chips, but they, yeah.
Trader Joe's tortilla chips. Hey, dude,
that's
that's your snack. Can't question it. What's the last thing that you binged?
Binged? I would say Money Heist. Not Money Heist. Is it called Money Heist? On Netflix, it's
On
like
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that Casa de la Papel. Did I say that right? I'm sorry.
I've seen the thumbnail. I haven't watched it
Yeah.
though, but I know Money Heist is on Netflix. Okay.
Anyway, it's hella fun, and
Okay. That might be my next watch then.
it was just yeah, I don't know, just one of those things where you just click and you're like, screw it, let's go.
In.
Yeah.
That's what binging does, man. You just get sucked in. What is your quarantine guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. I don't know, man.
Could be
Give me an example.
Like playing video games or freaking for me, my guilty pleasure is playing Clash Royale, which is a game on my phone. That's like my in-between time. I'm just opening up my phone and going Clash Royale.
Maybe eating those chips and
All right. While watching Money Heist. All right. Just put them all together. Put them all together. All right. Well, you might have answered this question, but this might be different. What would be a content recommendation for this time? Something that you've either read, watched, listened to.
Money Heist.
Money Heist. There it is. Apparently, guys, this is a really good show. I'm gonna have to get on this now. All right, Money Heist is the one.
No, I'm so feeling this.
Nah, dude, you're killing it. You might be killing it the hardest right now. What has been the highlight of quarantine for you?
Trader Joe's.
Money Heist.
No, what has been the highlight?
What has been the highlight for quarantine time for you?
Basic things. All the small, big things.
All the small, big things. If you guys missed it, go back in the episode because we talked about those things. What is a simple pleasure that you give yourself just to keep things flowing? One simple pleasure.
Well, I think my exercise and my session, so my 2-a-days have just been for me, and it's a lightning round. I'm just gonna throw it in there, but I've been cooking breakfast for my family in the morning.
That's good.
And I do it at least 3 or 4 times of the week. So I'll do my 6 a.m. workout, and then I'll start cooking breakfast around 8:30. Yeah, and that's been amazing because it's not something I did when I was young, and it gives me happiness to make food, that I'm able to have food and make it for my family. Yeah, and I'm not the best cook, so it's just one of those things where, hey, I don't make great things, but I can make a bit of a breakfast for everybody, something to get their day going. And
that's dope,
of course, if it can help my family be a little bit healthier, because I kind of cook more on the healthier side, boom, I'm with it.
Win, dude. Love that. Super dope. If there is one, do you have a song currently that is kind of like your song right now? Something that's been on your playlist, something that you'd like to listen to that kind of gets you in the right place? Song of the moment, if you will.
Damn. Let me check my laptop real quick. I feel like...
Or an artist.
I've been so all over the place. I think I am, just with music in general. Nope.
No?
Okay. I think I just really love Little Dragon, and her or their new album has been really awesome.
Little Dragon. All right.
It's such a wave of a ride.
Sick. If you could have a superpower, any superpower, what would it be?
The one I have now?
And then my next question is, what is your superpower?
Well, my mantra is vulnerability is power.
Mm.
And I think I use my ability through my dance and through how I am in the world. And yeah, I think that, yeah, that's it.
That's dope. Solid. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear. There's so many. With like little, I mean, it could be like what's happening right now is so scary, and the uncertainty of things can come crashing down. It's already, I feel like nothing in my lifetime has ever happened like this, and all coupled together. So I don't know if I can say what my biggest fear is, but there's a part of me that is sometimes fearful now, just for the things that are currently happening. But if I let it consume me, I think it can eat me alive. So I just focus on letting it sit with me and know that it's there, but I keep on moving forward.
Good. It's also powerful. It's like learning how to dance with fear versus run away from it or try to fight against it, right?
So when you're gonna come session, then I mean we do distance, so
yeah, I can't today, but Monday. You said Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? 2 days. Yeah, I'm there.
I'll hold you to it.
All right, I'm there. We already got your golden rule from the first time that we talked to you. So
what was it?
I think you said movement is life. You didn't say vulnerability is part, but you said movement is life. I think something to that degree, which makes a ton of sense. But I wanted to ask you something a little bit, maybe in light of what you just said with like, being afraid of what's going on. We live in some kind of, scary times. If you could prescribe something to the world that everyone has to take a daily dose of, what would that be?
I think I might have said this in the last podcast, but I'll repeat it in a shorter form. The one is the whole.
You did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can live your life with that in mind, then maybe you would, I don't know, move differently. Because everything that you do affects the things around you. So, I don't know, maybe, maybe that could create some change, positive change in the world. I'm not sure, but it's how I like to approach things. And if move is life, right? And one is the whole, right? Then if you step forward with those things in mind, then maybe I will move differently.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that was all there, man. But
no, I think there's a lot to that. I mean, even the way that you described it in the last pod, to know that you are a part of something. Each of us are a part of. We all live in this one world, right? And we all are a part of the human race, and it wouldn't be what it is without each of us being there. And even the way that you describe ML, it's bigger than an organization. It's bigger than a studio. It's bigger than something that Shaun Evaristo created. It's bigger than just even dance, because it's been touched by so many lives, and so many people have contributed to the identity of something like that. And so like, you know, everybody moving towards one thing creates it to what the wholeness of it, the oneness of it is a sum of all of its parts, right? And I think even the way that, you know, you are even talking about your self-explore program, you know, as you say, like find whatever it is for you, so that like it's almost like you're trying to encourage people to find your version. You know, you said find your home, right? Create your home, build your home. And I think that can only happen when you can play, explore, feel, allow things to kind of fall into place, go try to, you know, get things and see where everything kind of falls, you know? And I think the way that you live your life, the way that you're approaching this time of pandemic, allowing yourself to ebb and flow, it's really this like way to explore in a way that's honest, and allowing yourself to receive, and then also going to get and reaching for, you know. And I think all of that kind of like sums up to build your home, build your whole. So that's kind of how I interpreted what you just
No,
said.
man,
You
I'm
know,
just listening and absorbing what you're saying. It's feels like you're feeding it back to me for me to digest on like what I'm putting out into the world. And
yeah,
that yeah, man, hit it right on the button, man. And I mean, you know, really in this thing, this pandemic, I'm really just truly understanding how also important my friendships are too. And you know, like getting to see friends even on FaceTime because we've been away for so long, or you know, like this, or you know, just starting to meet with people outside, you know, from a distance, obviously,
sure,
but just seeing them
yeah,
lights my day up, you know.
yeah.
And I don't know, I might be going to the grocery store or something. I'm bumping into somebody, but from a distance, it's just like, oh, I missed you, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
totally.
you know, at people at ML, I'm seeing some of the all our folks. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
and you just remember how special that is because you
yeah.
haven't had it for months, you know.
Remember when we all ran into each other at the Black Lives Matter protest in downtown? It was like a gang of
Yeah,
us that got together. Yo, man, this is the first time we've all even physically seen each other through this whole pandemic, and it takes a protest to bring us all together. But it was also kind of like maybe this is kind of the best way to get together is to like
right.
unite for a cause. So yeah,
I
it
also
felt so good.
remember handshakes were like, do we,
Just
should we, okay,
the awkward
okay,
elbow bump to like,
yeah.
what do we do? Yeah, man.
It's just chest bump.
Yeah, 2020 greetings are all awkward now, dude. So funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just the new way to do it, you know?
Remember
That's just it.
Demolition Man? Was it Demolition Man? Is that like the something like that? Yeah. Collective Demolition Man greeting. All right, now we're just getting off track. We're just having fun now. But yo, Shaun, dude, thank you so much for coming in here, bro. Like I said, as I was even thinking back to, like, damn, when was the last time Shaun was on here? Which was when we first started, which was now 2 years ago. So yeah, to even think back that like the podcast has been going strong for 2 years is pretty crazy. And
Yeah, man.
but you know, like you already know, man, you're a very special brother and friend to me, and you know, friend to the Kinjaz, a huge inspiration to the community, the global dance community at large. What you're doing with your program, to the way that you continually put your workout, whether it's you know, you in your training mode, you know, freestyling, to obviously when you put, you know, you package some beautiful choreography together, like all that work that we can all follow. It's really cool. It's really cool to experience. I don't want to even just say to watch, because I almost feel like the way that you create and the way that you live invites experiential, like there's an invitation to experience versus just like, oh, look at my cool video. And like, and not to say that there's anything wrong with putting out just dope
Yeah.
dancing, because dope dancing
Oh
is
my
dope.
God.
You know, that's
Yeah, I'm
amazing.
seeing that right now. There's so
So
much
much.
good stuff out
Yeah.
there. Like
Yeah.
right now, even in the pandemic, I'm just seeing like, yo,
Yeah.
that's dope, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, I think the new gen has just been really inspiring. Actually, I wanted to add that in there is I've just been really inspired by like all my peers, you guys, to the new gen, just really like not wanting to move at all. And then just like seeing all like my peers in the next gen just making it happen. And
Yeah.
you know, that's just been also a motivation to say you can do this, you know. And like, yeah, if you know, seeing you guys all, it just sort of just says, hey, like, you continue to put out work, continue to do the thing you love most. There's a whole new gen, and all of your friends are continuing to push. Let's just continue to push this energy together, you know.
Yeah.
And you never know whose day it might light up. You also don't know what kind of light you might, you know, put within yourself. And so that motivation just pushed me back to just say, hey, let's keep going,
Yeah.
keep fighting, really, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my dance now just sort of um it feels like a part of my fight to live, you know, to move, to operate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I so thankful to have dance that I'm using it as my way to help me in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's all circular. I think, as you've been saying too, you know, like to not feel it, and then you know, flip open the Instagram and you see your homies going for it, you see the new gen going for it, and you're like, yo, man, all right, that's kind of giving me a little bit more more fuel to like get up. And you know, and I think that's what inspiration is for. It's to constantly recycle, you know. It's to like, you have it and then you pass it to someone else, they get it
Yeah,
and then they pass it back, you know. It's this
right.
constant circular recycling of inspiration that's so dope. And you know,
I mean,
dance
thanks
does
to
it.
you guys, man. Like, really, you know, Kinjaz has always, I mean, just always been my homies. So, first of all, but then outside of that, like, you know, just being able to share space always, whether it's at an event or on this podcast or being on stage with you guys to rock a show, or yeah, you guys always give me a platform to share energy, and for that I'm always grateful, man. You know, you guys aren't just um yeah, just another crew for me, you know.
Yeah, dude,
Like, yeah,
100%, man. You already know, Shaun. That's feelings mutual, back and forth all day,
so
man.
thank you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Thank you to Ben in the afternoon
The
and
lunch club, lunch club with the K,
well,
lunch club with the K. Oh no, I might have to like marinate on that one. But
it's a
cool,
work in
man.
progress. It's
It's
a
a
work in
we're always a work in progress. We'll
yeah.
definitely plug self explore, all that stuff in the notes, man. And yeah, dude, again, appreciate you. Um, get in with a session with you on Monday, you know, and just keep going, man. You're killing it. You're killing it, and you're inspiring us all, bro.
I'm just trying, man. You know, I'm just trying to do my thing on a regular, and I think just trying to, yeah, keep going. That's it.
Keep going. That's what it is, and we're gonna keep going. Thank you guys so much for listening to the pod. And as you just heard, we just realized we are now 2 years old. So thank you so much for you guys listening and supporting for this
Lightning,
long. Hit us
lightning,
with another lightning, Jeremy.
lightning, more lightning, over and under lightning,
Yeah, I don't even know what that
side
sounds like. It's just
lightning.
this lightning storm right now. And yeah, if you guys are digging it, hop onto Apple, leave us a 5-star rating, leave us a review, let us know what we're doing good, who you want to hear on the show, all that good stuff. Share it, take a screenshot of your phone, and tag us, Kinjaz Podcast, Cast with a K. We're on IG, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. And thank you guys for listening. We'll keep bringing this to you every week as much as we can. Stay healthy, stay positive, all the lightning. Shaun, thank you again for hopping in, giving us so much lightning in this episode. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
It's lit.
It's lit.